What up? What up? What up? What up? Listen, y'all, what's up? It's your girl, Sean. It's Monday, Monday, Monday. Are y'all ready for this free homeschool coaching? Hey, it's Schwan. Is that what it's called? Thank you for joining me. Mouse ears and coffee beans. Okay. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm so glad you're here. If you're coming in, say, hey, what's up? Let me know that you are here. Listen, y'all, you are delayed on my end, so I apologize. Like, I can see myself in the screen and it's delayed, it's behind, it's really weird. But we're good, right? It's Monday. I'm so glad that you're here. Hey, Kimberly, hashtag Guru Click. Hey, Kelly. Hey, girl. Hey. Hey, Lynn. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you're doing okay. Let's see. Hey, Michelle. Hey, girl. Hey. Let's see. Okay, Guru, giving us the Erica Badunas today. Hi, what I'm giving you is it's time to wash my hair, and I have not washed my hair, is what I'm giving. So this is my wrap. Either I have washed my hair and it's deep conditioning, or I haven't washed my hair and it needs to be washed. And so in this instance, there's something on there. I can see it. In this instance, it needs to be washed and it has not been washed. So that's what this is. Okay. That's what's going on with this one. Okay. If you're coming in, say, hey, what's up, y'all? We got a conversation today, some good stuff. I'm excited that you're here. Hopefully, everybody had an amazing weekend. This weekend, y'all not gonna believe it. I didn't have any sports with the kids, so no soccer, no basketball, like nothing. Right? We just spent some time with my family, celebrating my mom's birthday, and then we chilled, really chilled. So I'm excited about that. But now it's time to get back into it. And I ain't gonna lie to you, today has been a rough day. Like my girls and I started this new I don't want to say diet. It's not a diet, but we gonna change some habits and make them more healthier, drinking more water, getting some exercise in, eating better, all that good stuff. And I have been more tempted in my life than ever before today. Like right before here, I started to go get a pint of ice cream and sit in the car and do my live because it's been that kind of day for me. Um, I literally was going to sit in the car with the pint and do my live Q&A like, y'all, it's been a day. It's been a day. Y'all, I'm ashy. Lord have mercy. At least you know I wash my hands, right? So 75 hard. What you mean? What's 75 hard? I don't know what that is. So I don't know. Probably not, because I don't even know what that is. But it's there's four of us and we have decided to change some things. Drinking more water, which is a big thing for me. I do not like the taste of water. I know it sounds crazy, but it's 100% true. Especially down here in Texas, water tastes like dirt. Um, and so I do not like water, so it's a struggle for me to drink water. I found some water that I do like, but it's still a struggle for me. So I'm trying to focus on that. And then I typically do not eat all day, and then I eat for dinner or a late lunch, and I'm starving, right? So I'm doing stuff I don't have any business doing. So we're trying to do that. And then we're all going to start working out more. And y'all, for me, I just listen, y'all, I don't want to. Today has been a day. And so I'm trying not to go get me a pint of ice cream. But yeah, it's been rough. Hey, friend. Hey, girl. Hey. Hey, Jaquithia. Hey, Tanisha. Y'all, it ain't listen. She says 75 days of workout, tons of water, and daily reading. Oh, no, that's not what we're doing, but that sounds cool. That sounds cool. It sounds real cool. 1186 water, LOL. Yeah, I don't, child. Texas water tastes like dirt. And I was raised in a small town outside of Seattle, and the water was just different there. Not that I drank a lot of it then, but still, it was different there than when I came to Texas. And the water, it seriously tastes like dirt. It is a fight for me to drink water. We have found some alkaline water that I like to drink that I just like the taste. Like my husband's like, alkaline water has so many benefits, and he does it for the benefits and I do it for the taste. I'm like, I don't care what benefits. It just tastes better to me. So that's what I'm doing. Okay. Speaking of, it's time for me to drink my water. So I'm trying to remain consistent. This is day one. Jaquithia, I was telling them today has been a day, and I wanted to go eat a pint of ice cream in my in my car today and do my live. But I thought of y'all and how encouraging you guys are. And so I'm gonna stick with it. Okay, I'm gonna do what I'm supposed to do. So do me a favor, if you can, please share. Let's get some people in the room. I am going to share, and then I'm going to get right into it. Got a good conversation. We're going to talk As usual, you know you are more than welcome to ask any question that you need to ask concerning homeschooling while we're doing this, right? So, homeschooling and marriage, homeschooling working, homeschooling babies, kids, all that good stuff, right? Let me share myself, and then once I share, I'll be ready to go. If you're unfamiliar with me, my name is Sean Taylor, and I go by the name of Sean, the homeschool guru, and I specialize in helping families in these homeschool streets. Right? That's what I do. That's what she do. And so let me see, y'all. Bear with me. Comments might be going crazy for a second, but bear with me. Let me get these shared. But I specialize in helping families transition into homeschool. Basically, if you want to say something, like that's what I do. So we're gonna do that, okay? So we're gonna do this. We're gonna share here, and then we're good to go. I'm not sharing anymore. So, but if you can share, that will be great, okay? So let's get started, okay? You said I stick to bottled water. Yeah, it's weird. See, aloe water to me, I get it, but I understand the benefits of water and why we need it, and I don't think that I would drink aloe water enough to. You know what, Kim? I just need to drink water. That's all. I mean, that's all I can say about that, okay? That's all I can say about it, okay? Oh, Kimmy said, no, no, no. You are Sean Taylor, the homeschool guru and an Amazon best-selling author 3 times. Yes, I am. I am a best-selling author of not one, not two, but 3 homeschooling books. I actually have them here. I just dropped my flash drive. Let's pray that that is okay. Because that has everything in it. Lord have mercy, Jesus. Okay. So I have this book here right here, and it's blue, so you can't see it. Ain't that something? How to Transition to Homeschooling is an Amazon bestseller. You can get that on my website, SeanTheHomeschoolGuru.com. And then this one as well. African American Homeschooling Mompreneurs. There are a total of 12 authors on this book. I'm a part of this as well. And then I had another book, but I don't. This is something completely different, so I'm not going to show you that. But yeah, that's what I am. That's who she is. That's who she is. Okay. Thank you so much. Hey, Marie. So listen, I'm going to get right to it. We're going to have our conversation. The first thing we're going to talk about today, if you read, is homeschooling or nah. Like, what are we doing here, fam? Are we homeschooling or nah? And so a lot of people are transitioning or thinking about the transition that it takes to homeschool and trying to consider it, but not quite sure what it is, what it had do, and if it's worth it, right? So we're going to talk about it, okay? We're going to talk about 3 different things, and then we're going to move on, okay? Again, this is a live Q&A. I bring a topic. I'm going to talk about it. You are more than welcome to ask whatever question that you need to ask in the meantime. A. Marie says, come on all the way through, homeschool guru. That's me. That's that chick. That's me. That's me. That's me. Jaquithia says, I do sparkling coconut water or aloe vera water when I don't want regular water or fruit infused water. So I can do the fruit infused water. You know, I'm allergic to coconut, so I can't do that. And aloe vera, I don't know. I don't know. Let me drink some water since we're talking about it, y'all. Y'all, I do not like water. And it has to be room temperature. It's a whole thing. It can't be cold. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing, y'all. Okay, so we're gonna talk, right? The question that we're talking about again is homeschooling or not, right? Is homeschooling a viable way to educate your child? Like, is it something that you can do and your child can actually get a full education from it? And if you know me, then you know what I'm gonna say. Yeah, it is. Like, absolutely 100% it is. Okay. One of the things that I would say is if you're considering homeschooling and you're not quite sure whether or not it's something you should do, one of the very first questions you should ask yourself is, how concerned are you with what your children are being taught? Okay. So for us, of course, if you know my story, if you read my book, my best-selling book, Homeschooling with Sean the Guru. Nope, that's not it. That's my group name. How to Transition to Homeschooling. If you read my best-selling book, then the story goes that my son had an IEP. It wasn't working like it was supposed to do. They weren't doing what they were supposed to do. And that's how we transitioned into homeschooling. But it's even bigger than that for us, okay? How concerned are you with what the educational system is providing for your kids? Okay. And I'm just going to be honest on my part. Let's just talk about me. Let's just talk about Sean. So I went to school, right? Graduated, did all that stuff. I cannot tell you how much information that I use from what I learned when I was in the traditional school. Most of the stuff that I use now as an adult is stuff I learned from life experience, right? From living life, doing the things that I needed to do. Yes, it was important to learn some of the basics, reading, write, arithmetic, all that good stuff. Yes, that was important. But as far as me surviving now as an adult, short of social skills or anything like that, I can't really say that my traditional school system or what the way I was educated really helped me in that aspect of things. And again, I get the basics. I'm not saying that the basics weren't provided and I didn't have or do whatever it is that I needed to do. But what I am saying to you is there's a lot of information that was missed when I was educated in school that would have helped me further down the line as an adult. And so for us, that was a big deal when we decided to homeschool. We wanted to prepare our children to do the things that we felt that they needed to know as adults. So again, personal finance, that's not something that I learned. I don't blame the school system on that. Not really. I don't really blame my parents on that. It wasn't something that was put out in front of us like it should. Talking about credit, loans, all that good stuff, how to save money, how to do this, how the mortgage system works, getting a bank loan and getting a house, and how important it is to own a property, and how you don't have to have the newest and the hottest and the greatest electronic or car or whatever the case may be. Like, none of that was taught in school. I learned that as an adult later on. That child, I'm gonna get this car and I'm gonna ride it till the wheels fall off. I'm not gonna keep getting a loan because that's just a waste of my time, my resources, and my money, right? Like, that's just a waste. All of that I learned outside of the traditional school system. So I'm asking you, if this is something that you're considering as far as homeschooling is concerned, is it something that, like, is the education that is being provided for your child in the traditional school system, is that something that you're worried about? Is that something that's doesn't fit your big plan for your kids, right? I don't want to say that we are woke, right? Like, and in general, like, this generation of parenting, the parents that we are now, is like, hey, you know what? I want to do things differently. I understand where the mistakes were made. I understand what could be better for our children. So instead of them starting behind, we're going to start, ahead of time. And so what are those questions that you're asking yourself? That's a serious question to ask yourself about whether or not you want to homeschool. Okay. Tanisha says, yes. Still learning. Exactly. And we're all still learning, right? We all learn day by day. I learn something new every single day. And if you're not learning something new, that's a whole nother issue. And I'm not saying it has to be no big old huge thing, but if you don't explore, learn something new, read a book, something is going on. Okay. Something is going on there. But we have the opportunity as adults and parents right now, a little bit more freedom than our parents did to educate our children in a different way. And so if that's a concern for you of what is being taught, like for me, and I hate to go race, y'all know I typically don't talk about like racial stuff. I will toe the line real close to it because I don't want to get involved in that. Some of y'all know how I feel about all of that. What I will say to us right now, as people argue whether or not critical race theory should be taught in the school, it's absolutely insane. It's not critical race theory. It's history. It is American history, whether it's brown, whether it's yellow, whether it's dark brown, whatever the case may be. It's not critical race theory. It is history. It is American history, right? And part of the issue with us educating our children right now is that for me was, I don't want a standpoint from the standpoint of a victor. I don't want a victor to tell me how they won the battle. Okay. I want to hear about all of it. I want to hear about the casualties. I want to hear what you were thinking about. I want to hear all of that, right? And so for you to sit here and argue now, there should be no critical race theory in school, you're absolutely correct. There should be no critical race theory in school. You should teach the story of America, which encompasses all of us. All of us. It's history, period. Okay, so it should not be critical race theory. I'm not trying to go down this road. I'm not going to have no arguments with nobody. You get in my comments tripping, I'm going to ignore you. And if it gets ignorant, I'm going to block you, honestly. But there should be no discussion of whether critical race theory should be taught in the school. It doesn't exist. It's history. Okay, it happened. It shaped America. It's what we're going through right now is because of what happened. Teach it. Teach it. Stop teaching that the only great people were Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks. Y'all forget about Malcolm X all completely. That's a whole nother story. But Listen, there is no such thing as critical race theory. It's history. Teach the story. Teach the history in all of it. All of it. The nitty, the gritty, the dirty, the ugly, the nasty. Teach it. All of it. Okay? Whether it's the Native Americans, whether it's Mexican Americans, Latino Americans, whether it's Asian Americans, whether it's African Americans. Teach the history. Period. No critical race theory. Teach the history. Teach the history. Okay. So listen, we going that route. Okay. Now I don't want to stay there. I don't want to stay in that place. But that was what I was trying to say. That's what I was trying to explain to you. Are we going to, what are you concerned about where it's being taught? I like being able to teach my kids this. I like being able to say, what do you want to learn? And let's research it. I like learning new things. I like exploring the negative along with the bad. I told my kids, this week about human leather being made, and they were flabbergasted. What do you mean, human leather? Like leather, like alligator? Yeah, sweetheart, alligator, but they were made out of humans, like human skin. Teach the bad, teach the good, teach the ugly so we can move on. Teach it. Stop trying to prevent us from learning. Stop trying to, we're trying to build a new America. These new age kids are world changers. They not putting up with no smack, no bull, no crap. They not putting up with it, okay? And since they not putting up with them, give them the information so they can build a better tomorrow for their kids and their kids' kids. Stop withholding information. Tell them the truth and let them roll with it, okay? Tell them the truth. Okay, so that was the first thing, and I went on a tangent. Okay, let me get in these comments real quick. Let's see. Hey, T.O., I'm so glad that you're here. T.O. says, correct. It's history. Exactly. It's history. There's so much that I didn't learn about. I didn't know, for me, I didn't know that Asian Americans went through some of the stuff that they went through. Why are we not teaching this? Why? Like, why are we not teaching the history of America? Why are we not teaching that? She says it's all inclusive. Teach it. Exactly. Exactly. Let's see. Jaquithia says it's all history. Teach it all. Exactly. Teach it all. The good, the bad, the ugly, the nasty, the rude, the mean, the low down, dirty, scandal. Like, teach it all. Teach it all so we don't have to keep dealing with the same bullcrap we're dealing with right now. Period. Teach the good, the bad. Exactly. Exactly. Hey, Valencia. Hey, Angela. Angela says, yeah, we're learning about making spears out of rocks. Exactly. And that's a whole lesson, right? You're learning about making spears, Native Americans making spears, anybody making spears, right? But there's so much that goes into what was a spear used for, right? Used for hunting. Was it used for wars? There's so much that goes into it. Teach it. Teach the story. Teach it all. Whomever. Stop pretending that, we're not teaching critical race theory because there's no such thing. It's history. Teach the history. All of it. Every bit of it, right? All of it. Okay? Valencia says, I agree. I'm a realist. I tell my kids the things that school won't. They need to know the truth. Exactly. That's me. I tell my kids, that's me. Because I want them to know. The biggest issue for me growing up and being here in America is that, and I've told you guys my story. If you're just now getting to learn who I am or anything about me, then you may not have heard my story. So I was raised in a small town outside of Seattle. I was the first African-American female to graduate from a school district in 1998, y'all. Not 1962, not 1972, not even 1982, but 1998. I was the first African-American female to graduate from that school. I don't know if there are more there. I would have to check now, but I was the first in 1998. The stories that I was told, they read a book, they read Roots. I remember reading Roots. And I remember the jokes that were told. I remember the things that were said. And I remember them not being corrected or taught what was the correct thing to do. I remember all of that. I don't remember what I'm learning now with my kids. I never learned this stuff. Never learned it. Never learned it. But we have an opportunity to build world changers. We have an opportunity to pour so much into these kids that they change the darn world. Teach it. Teach it all and let them go. Teach it. Teach it all. Kelly says, that's what I'm searching for. Curriculum that supports the fact that Native Americans lived in the American centuries before European exploration. I believe that there are some curriculums out there, Kelly, that teach that, but I think more so of it's kind of a, I don't want to say it's surface is what I want to say. And so what I will say to you when it comes to that curriculum is that you're probably going to have to do your own research. I don't know if there is a curriculum out there that is going to do its own. Now, I know in my group, I shared a link. There's some free curriculum on Native Americans, I think in Oklahoma, that I found, and I shared in the group. I'll try to find it when I leave. Send me a message and remind me and do that. And basically, I think it was a Navajo tribe maybe. And please, don't, if I said it wrong, I apologize. Not my intent whatsoever. Okay. But remind me on that. Okay. Tune in at the right time. Yes. Teach the whole history. Yeah. Teach it all, Kristen. Teach it all. Teach all of it. Oh my gosh. Yes. Love it. Hey, y'all. Hey, girl. Hey. So that was the first thing. Okay. Let's see. Tio says 98. Oh, wow. Yes, Tio. I graduated in 1998 from this high school. I was the first African-American female to graduate from the school. And I don't know. And here's the thing is I'm still Facebook friends with a lot of people from my hometown. And what I see is a lot of my classmates, God bless them. A lot of my classmates are absolutely amazing. They are serious about things being different than what it was when we were in high school. But I don't know if that has changed down there. Y'all, I left and never looked back. That's how bad it was for me. Okay, I came back 1 year. I left when I was 19 years old. I came back from my best friend at the time, her birthday, a surprise for her birthday. And I left and I never came back. I have not been back to my area since then. So, I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. Kelly says, I found a lot of info, but nothing like curriculum. Yeah, I don't know if you're going to find curriculum. You're going to have to find info, which is what we're having to do in our house, is that we're not necessarily doing curriculum when it comes to history. We haven't for years. We are doing research on each of them or whatever it is. Okay. All right. So that's it. Okay. So that was the first question. I answered that first question. Again, this is live Q&A. We don't have to stay in this space. You can ask questions. I'm just going to keep going on with the topic. Okay. So the second thing we're talking about is homeschooling or not is the purpose of homeschooling. The purpose of homeschooling is to tailor fit each child, right? So you can take a child to the traditional school system and you can put them in the traditional school. But basically the way that they do it is they have a blanket curriculum, blanket way of teaching. And again, y'all know me, I'm not dogging teachers. Okay. There are some teachers out there that give a flip about your baby and want them to succeed. That's not what I'm doing. But basically they're taking a rock called education and they're throwing it at a window and seeing if it hits, your kids being the window. Okay. So again, there are teachers out there that care and give a flip about your kids that want them to succeed. That is absolutely 100% true. But when they have 20, 25, 30, 31, 32 students, okay, it's difficult to catch them all with that one rock. Okay. And so homeschooling allows you to custom make every curriculum, whatever it is, however you use it. Even if you use a box curriculum like BJU, a Becca, or anything like that, you can still take the time to make it custom fit your child and their needs. Okay. So is that something that you want? Right. So we talked about, are you worried about what's being taught? We talked about that. Now we're saying, are you wanting to custom fit, your child? Right. My kids don't all learn the same. All three of them, they learn completely different. Okay. And I still learn that some methods work and some methods don't. Is that something that you're interested in when you're going to homeschool? That will determine whether or not you're going to homeschool or not. Okay. If it's important for you to custom fit that, if that's something that you have time to do. Now, again, if you're working, there are things that you're going to have to do to make all of that happen. Can you work and homeschool? You absolutely can. It will look different to you than it'll look for anybody else. Okay. So that may mean that you are not homeschooling during the day because you're at work, but you're homeschooling at night. That may mean you're homeschooling on the weekends. It's going to look different from you. But yes, if that's important to you, then it's definitely something that you can do. Okay. All right. And the last thing is, Is it possible to give them a higher education? Like, what kind of education are they going to get, right? It all depends on you as the parent. You can give them the basic education. You can give them extra. You can do whatever you want to. You can put them in dual enrollment. You can have them graduating with an associate's degree. You can have them graduating with a bachelor. It depends on you and your family and the plan that you have. Okay. Or you could basically be doing unschooled living life, just doing what you do, right? So you do what you do and you keep it moving. Whatever works for you. What works for you? What plan do you have for you and your children? Okay. Tio says, homeschool is the best decision I've ever made. And I can say that already, just 4 months in as a new homeschooling mom. Listen, T-Ho, I'm with you. And I'm saying it right because, listen, I can't see now. I know you see my glasses. I can't see. Let me look at them. Look, y'all, I'm looking like a whole one. Yeah, I am saying it right. But but homeschooling was the best decision I never intended to make. Y'all, I wasn't trying to homeschool my kids. These kids, I love them, but they get on my nerves. Like, when y'all going to school? Y'all going over your Grammy house? When y'all going over your Grammy's house? When y'all going? Y'all went outside to play? Like, I love my kids, right? I love them. And that was one of the biggest things that I was concerned about. My kids are going to get on my nerves. Like, I am not the most patient. As a matter of fact, I lose my crap a lot. Like, how am I going to do this? I'm figuring out. And there are still times that I lose my crap and I have to come back. There are sometimes I have to tell my kids flat out, I am not having a good day. It is not in your best interest to mess with me right now. And kids will be kids, right? Like, they test you. Don't touch that. Let me see if I can touch it and see what happens, right? So I have to explain to my kids, like, hey, listen, mom's not okay today. I'm trying to be okay, but I'm struggling. It's not in your best interest to test that, okay? It's just not going to work out well for you, okay? It's not going to work out well. Yes, I never planned on it, but I had to. Yeah, I get it. Homeschool teaches us patience. I mean, Tana says homeschool, and is it Tanya or Tana? I'm going to say Tana. Tana says homeschool teaches us patience. I mean, kind of ish, right? Because I can find myself being more honest with my kids about my behaviors, my issues. And so, yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, I would say that, right? So I can say to my kids, yo, your dad made me mad and I'm irritated. Like, let me have a moment. I can say that to my kids, right? Instead of taking it out on them. Or I can say, I did not sleep well. I'm exhausted and I'm having a rough day. Okay. I just need y'all to get your work done. I can be honest with my kids and say that. And that honesty goes a long way instead of biting their heads off. Typically, when I say to my kids, like, I'm not okay, I'm not okay, they usually say, oh, okay. Like, they try to do better. Okay. And it's not for them to take on and do better, but they recognize that I'm human and I struggle too. Okay. And Angela says, my goal is for him not to be trapped in a box. I want him to be a free thinker, which is absolutely amazing, right? Because the fact of the matter is, I kind of struggle with saying this. The fact of the matter is, they go to the school system, right? And they don't necessarily want them to all be the same, but they kind of have to all be the same so that they can accomplish the goal that they're trying to accomplish, right? In order for everybody to get what they need, they kind of all need them to be very similar. We all know, though, that we're not created the same. Just think about our kids, right? I have 3, okay? I raise all 3 of my kids differently. I treat them differently. I love them differently. I discipline them differently. All 3 of them are very different, right? One kid I can fuss at, and it's the end of the world, okay? One kid I have to almost threaten, like, and this is joking. I say this jokingly. He laughs because he knows I'm not going to do it, but I'm like, you better stop it before I beat you. And then he starts laughing, right? And then I laugh. So one kid, I can joke with that. But if I said that to that other child who cries when I fuss, if I said, you better stop that before I beat you, they would be like it would be a whole big old catastrophe, a big old issue, right? Okay. So we don't all parent our kids the same. So we're taking our kids, throwing them into the public school system and saying, here, you all are going to learn the same. We all know it doesn't work that way. We know that, y'all. We know that. We know that for a fact. As adults, we know that, right? We maybe didn't know it earlier on, but we know it now, right? Kelly says, too much effort to make all kids critical thinkers in public school. Yeah, and I don't even want to say it's too much effort. I don't think that they have the time, being very honest with you. and I try, so I'm in a teachers group that is local here in our area. And I go in there because teachers have a lot of information. And then I'm in there and I'm respectful, right? I'm not dissing them, dogging them, or whatever the case may be, but they have a lot of information and they help, right? But one of the things that I noticed about the teachers is, especially down here, is that some of the teachers, because of what's going on with the pandemic or whatever, some of the teachers are teaching 2 classes at one time. No joke. Okay. They are being put in a library, or they being put into the lunchroom with a class of 30 plus kids to teach one lesson to. That's not lazy. It's impossible for them to manage a class of 30 to 60 kids and they all get exactly what they need. It's impossible. And that has a lot to do with what we're experiencing now, the state that we're in right now. It has a lot to do with that, right? Teachers are quitting or not doing, not able to do what they need to do. If somebody gets sick, somebody has COVID, they have to shut down the classroom, then maybe the teacher's out. So a lot of these teachers are flat out just worn out. Could y'all imagine? I have 3 kids and they drive me nuts, y'all. I love them. Those are my babies. Listen, I fight a bear for them. Do you hear me? Square up, bear. We about to fight. I love my kids. 3 of them wear me out. Could you imagine having 30 plus kids and having to make sure they're all good? It's unfair. It's unfair. It's unfair. It's too much. It's just too much. Tequila says, I just came in, but I've been meaning to ask you about homeschooling kids who have IEPs. My oldest stutters, and I'm wondering how to incorporate speech therapy into our homeschooling. Any insight? So what I would do is, I don't know if you are doing the speech therapy or are you sending him to speech therapy? What are you doing? If you can answer that for me. I know, right, y'all? And listen, I'm not exaggerating at all. I have seen the posts in the group where the teachers will come in upset and they kind of just venting like, oh, I'm so tired. I had to teach this class, had to teach that class. It's even to the point where the teachers now are teaching online, right? So say that there's a outbreak of some kind and some of the kids have to go home or get quarantined or whatever the case may be. They are teaching online to the kids and also teaching the kids in the classroom. Y'all, that is unfair to them. There is no way that everybody is going to catch it, right? Like I said, okay, education is the rock and our kids are the window, okay? And they're throwing that one rock at 50 windows, 30 windows, trying to catch them all, break them all. They can't. It's impossible. It's too much. They are worn out. It is too much for them to handle. It's too much. It's too much. Okay. Tio says, are there any resources that can help guide me with organizing lesson plans? Nothing formal, but just making sure I'm teaching him what he needs to know for his grade level. So what I would do, Tio, is I don't know how young your baby is, but what I would say, and I think you told me, so I'm sorry. I apologize if you did and I can't remember. I would literally Google what my child should know at 3rd grade, what my child should know at 6th grade. Scholastics has a website and it's, I think it goes all the way up to 6th grade that tells you what they should be learning by 6th grade. Also, what you could do is you could actually go to your local state teaching agency. So ours here in Texas is TEA, okay? So I would go to TEA and see what they're learning for this grade. And then I would pick the things that I found out that I feel were important and that they needed to know. That's how I would do that, Tio. Okay. He's 12. Yeah, I would definitely do it that way. I would probably, for the 12-year-old, I would go to your local state website, the educational website, and find out what they're learning in that age grade, that range. And then go through and pick the things that I figure out was important. Or you could also go to IXL.com. IXL has a list of the things the child will be learning in each age or each grade. But what I would say about that is be mindful about that because it can be a lot. And I don't want you to think that you have to teach everything or all of it, right? You can teach the gist. You can, just get the surface of some of them to get to the next one. Like you can do that, okay? She said, excuse me, 13, he's in 7th grade. That matters. I'm sure that matters to him. Let's see. Kimberly says, yep, my friend is doing that. Plus she got virtual going on at the same time. Exactly. I just said that. Exactly. Exactly. There are teachers out there, y'all, that are teaching multiple classes at one time, okay? And then are teaching virtually at the same time as well. And I'm not saying that to dog the teachers at all. Y'all know how I feel about teachers. Teachers are amazing. We have teachers in our y'all the bomb. Y'all do something I can never do. Y'all are amazing, okay? But I'm just saying it's difficult. It's hard. Tequila says he receives therapy at school 30 minutes once a week. Okay, so what I would ask the therapist is there some way that you can incorporate what he's working on in therapy into your homeschool lessons? Okay, I would specifically ask them if there's a plan that you can use to, do at home while he's at home, and not necessarily during homeschool time, but just like in general when he's there. I would specifically ask that. What can I do at home? Okay, what can I do, right? Because homeschooling is life, right? It's a whole life situation. And so I would specifically ask him, what can I do to at home to make it better? Okay. Hey, Leonda. Leonda says, I am a new homeschooler. Hey, girl, welcome to the family. I would like some help with the curriculum. Okay. So listen, I know that this is going to sound dumb and probably shocking to you, but curriculum is your absolute last worry. Okay. There's a YouTube link. Let me see if I can find it. I have a YouTube link on the things that you should do to transition into homeschooling. Let me see if I can find that real quick for you, Londa. Let's see. But it is your last worry to pick a curriculum is what I want to say. There's so many different other steps that you need to take before that will get you to the actual homeschooling thing. Okay. So let me get that. There it is. Hold on. Let me get that link for you. Let's go there. Okay, so there's that link for you. Okay, so check that out. Leonda, there's a whole list of things you should do before you get to curriculum, okay, which involves finding out what type of homeschool, what method of homeschool you're going to use, what's your goal, what it is you're trying to do, all that good stuff. Okay, so there's a whole list of things to do. Okay. Let's see. Tio says, did someone ask about speech therapy? I am an SLP. There you go. So somebody on Instagram, Tio on Instagram, says that she's a speech therapist. She said, yes, speech therapy can definitely be incorporated into his homeschool. If I can help, I'm open to questions. Okay, so do me a favor. I did this last time and I lost the contact. Okay, Tio, right now, while we're on live, send me a message on Instagram and say, hey, I'm a speech therapist. Here's my information, whether you want her to have your sign in information, whether you want her to have your email information, whatever it is, send me a message right this moment. Don't leave. Okay. Send me a message. Okay. And then Tequila, I need you to do me a favor. Okay. I need you to send me a message. You're on Facebook. I need you to send me a message right now and say, hey girl, hey, it's me. I asked about the speech therapy. Okay. If you want the information, see, they're asking about that. Okay, Tio? Somebody else just said it. Hey, I want her info too. Okay, so listen, Tio said she's willing to answer questions about it. Okay, so do me a favor. She's going to send me a message right now. Hop off real quick, Tio, and then come back. Send me a message because I don't want to lose you. Okay, and then all of you guys, see, there's a third person, Tio. All of you guys that have questions about speech therapy, send me a message to wherever you are. So Facebook, looks like you guys are all on Facebook. Send me a message, okay? So we can get you guys connected up. Do it now, please, because what happens is after these comments go, I can't get back to them. They'll pop back up, but I can't contact you. I can't do any of that good stuff, okay? Do it now, please. Everybody do it now, okay? Okay, everybody help your girl out, okay? So let's see. Let me go back up to the comments, okay? You're welcome, Tequila. Okay, Tanisha says, oh, posted. I must have missed that link, shaking my head. I did post the link, so there it is right there, guys. Okay, it's a YouTube link. If you go to my YouTube channel, which is Sean the Homeschool Guru, there are several different videos, but this one is 5 things that you need to do to start homeschooling. So before you do everything else, these are the 5 things that you need to do, okay? All right. Tanisha says, hey, YouTube is live. I hear you, Tequila. Let's see. Leonda says, okay, thanks. Yes, it is. Y'all are so funny. Oh, my God. Thank you, Miss SLP. Tequila, she said, thank you so much, T.O. There you go. Okay. Kelly says, I need her info too. Kimberly says, networking. I just love this. Now y'all going to go live together. Exactly. Tequila says message sent. Okay, so T.O. has been very awesome and has returned almost every time I go live. She's here. I imagine she's going to send her message. She hasn't come back and said she sent it, but I imagine she's going to send her a message. Send me a message, guys, and I will do my best to connect the two of you. I just want y'all to be all right. Like literally, I want y'all to be good in these homeschool streets. Real story, like real talk. Okay. All right. So that's all I have for you guys today. Y'all have blessed me, honestly, contacting each other or trying to connect up with each other. Like Kimberly said, networking. Y'all have blessed me. I appreciate that. Sabrina says, I definitely need speech therapy. There you go. There you go. Okay. I know y'all already deep in these homeschool streets, but I'm mainly looking for to be being a lunch lady in a library. So listen, I ain't nobody's lunch lady. Y'all better get in that kitchen and fix your own stuff. I ask them every week what y'all want for lunch. What y'all want. I put it in the Instacart, okay, and then they going on about their business, okay. I'm not fixing lunch. Some days I wake up and fix breakfast, but most of the time they do their own thing, right? They're older though. They're 17, 15, and 11. They're old enough they can do it. Like my baby son, he's 11. My youngest son made cinnamon rolls in the air fryer today. They're good. Like they got it. They got it. Okay. Okay. Send me a message, Sabrina. Everybody, if you need speech therapy help, send me an email. Send me a message on Facebook, wherever you are. Send me a message, and I will get with as soon as TO. I'm gonna look as soon as I'm done, and we'll go from there. Okay. All right, y'all. I'm gonna jump off of here. Listen, it has been an absolute blessing. Today has been a rough day, but you guys have been a blessing to me. I told y'all I wanted to sit in my car and eat ice cream and do this live, but y'all have been a blessing to me, and I appreciate it. Thank you so much for gracing me with your presence. Thank you so much for making me smile. Thank you so much for making me feel like it's going to be okay, right? Thank y'all. I appreciate you. Angela says, before we go, we do meal prep together, so during the week I'm not cooking. That's great. Angela got a whole system down. I ain't mad. Let's go, Angela. Angela got a whole system. All right, so that's all I have for you. Do me a favor, every single one of you, throw me hearts, likes, share, thumbs up, whatever it is. Every time you do that, it helps me. It blesses me to get out here in these homeschool streets and help everyone else. I need to talk to the people who are homeschooling. I need to talk to people who are considering homeschooling. I need to talk to the people who hate no homeschoolers. I need to talk to all three of them, right? Share, like, comment, heart, thumbs up, do whatever you can do. Every little bit blesses me, whether you realize it or not, it blesses me. I appreciate you guys. I will see you again on Wednesday at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thank you so much for joining me. Until Wednesday. Bye, guys.